Hello everyone, my name is JWinder and this is my Mod 7 Family Involvement Mini Case Study for AEP 880. First, a little summary of the case. Our main characters are Joel Fahm and his parents Mr. and Mrs. Fahm, Mr. Rolnick, who is the teacher trying to get the Fahms involved in the school, Mrs. Smith, who is a teacher that Mr. Rolnick looked for advice, and then there was Miles, who was Joel's classmate working with him in the science fair. The situation, issues, problems, and concerns. Mr. Rolnick is trying to get Mr. and Mrs. Pham, a local Vietnamese family, more involved in Joel's school. He believes that family involvement is integral to student success. The Phams have not responded to any opportunities Mr. Rolnick has offered and are not interested in helping at school in any way. They work for a local business and believe in community service, but have not been involved in anything at school. Mr. Rolnick reached out to another teacher, Mrs. Smith, for advice. He was wondering why the Phams would not be interested in helping at school and be involved in any activities. She shares that they both went to school in that district and were one of few Vietnamese families in the area. She shared that the school was not very welcoming to them years ago, and they may have other barriers that may be keeping them from getting involved as well. She said that the approach Mr. Rolnick is taking may also be causing them to shy away from helping. Now we're going to take a look at question number 1. Mr. Rolnick provided various opportunities for parents to volunteer, but Mr. and Mrs. Pham did not want to do that. Mrs. Smith suggested one reason may be their experience as students in the school. What other factors might be keeping them from volunteering? Well, for me, I think they may have a personal dislike for Mr. Rolnick for some reason. Who knows what that may be, but it could be something they're just trying to be nice about, not say anything about, and just trying to stay away and keep their distance. Next, they may be just tired or worn out from work. And then lastly, they may be simply not interested in helping. My personal experiences that I've had with similar occurrences. I really haven't had any experience with anything similar to this situation. So this is a new situation that I haven't dealt with. Question number 2. How should Mr. Rolnick and other teachers and administrators reach out to parents, caretakers who may have experienced school as a hostile environment in the past? Well, I believe that it's more than reaching out. I think it's a process of building a relationship of trust and understanding. Over time, the Phams as well as other families will learn that you care for them and want what is best for their child. Describe any personal experiences you have had with a similar occurrence. Again, I have not had any experiences with this situation specifically, but I try to build relationships with families and students that are based on trust to avoid these situations. How would the staff even know this is a barrier? I would say firsthand experience like Mrs. Smith had. She had been there for over 20 years, I believe. So she has kind of seen people come and go, and she had firsthand knowledge of the Phams and what they went through. So I think that's how your staff is going to know about this. They're there and they experience it. How could you have eliminated this situation from happening? I don't know that you could have eliminated the situation totally because of their past experiences and you not being there when they experienced that, but having a relationship with the Phams would have surely helped. Now we're moving on to question number 3. Mr. Rolnick appeared to assume that Mr. and Mrs. Pham were not interested in their son's education because they didn't take part in any of his family involvement opportunities. So what are some ways parents can be involved and demonstrate interest in their child's education other than volunteering at the school? I believe a few ways would be attending parent-teacher conferences regularly, athletic events, and then other extracurricular events. as well as overseeing homework, making sure that students are getting that done, getting it handed in, and then just being in constant communication with teachers. Describe any personal experiences that you have had with a similar occurrence. Not all families can be at every event at school, but show that they are interested in their child's education. It is usually very evident who is interested and who isn't. Conclusion. I believe the best avenue for Mr. Rolnick to take is to begin to build a relationship with the Foms as well as every family in his district. Over time, the community will see that he cares about them and may slowly begin to respond to the opportunities he provides to volunteer at school. It is not something that he can force on people, but the hope is that a large percentage of them will get involved. By building trustworthy relationships, they can begin to break down barriers that may be preventing people from getting involved. Thank you so much for listening. Take care and have a great day.